Welcome to another episode of Man Bunkbed, where we actually have three guys in the bunks today. So, of course, I am Zach Bradley. I'll be your host. We've got Nolan, aka Fat Squirrel, and for the first time in 11 weeks.
Hey, girls.
Hey, our other Bunkbed's back.
We got Cole Smith, aka Coach something or another 409. You know what I mean? What's up, Cole?
Wow. Hey, guys. What's up?
God, we missed you, buddy. Where you been?
Oh, just living the dream.
Oh, yeah?
So I guess fill everybody in on why you
tell us the story.
By the way, first off, before I get into my wonderful story, have you guys enjoyed your time alone together? You
much bonding.
Replaced me with Josh enough, or
replaced you with Josh and Caleb, and
we were ready to start getting others.
We've been,
but it wasn't.
We were so close to just cycling third host.
I mean, Cole,
it wasn't the same. Right.
We were perilously close to the Tyler episode. Shout out Tyler.
Well, we have the menage a trois back together, so.
Oh.
All right. Well, I should be back. So here's what happened was, originally, the first 2 weeks I missed was with the birth of my baby girl.
Congrats.
Last time, so we didn't know the gender. And
damn, all the way up till.
Okay.
That's too much stress
a story
for me.
in its own. Like, how many episodes we got here? Because that's a whole thing. Like, me going 100 plus all the way to the hospital.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
we were there. I think we were in the room for 3 minutes before baby out.
That was quick.
Like, the doctors didn't even know that I hadn't looked at the file because we didn't have time for all that. Didn't know that we didn't know the gender, and they're like, "Here's your baby girl. Have a great day." And I'm like, "What?
Hey,
did you say girl?" So I just started boohooing.
Of course,
that's awesome.
And so it was a moment because it's absolute chaos, and they're like, "Y'all didn't know?" I'm like, "No, we didn't know." So everybody starts crying. So it was fun. So we had baby girl, and so that's why I'd missed 2 weeks. 2 weeks after me missing baby girl, in the spirit of, loving football, and, I'm Coach Smith 409 there. I was involved in a practice accident at football where a child. Now, here's the funny part: they just started trying to ban the hip drop tackles in the NFL. I got hip drop tackled by a 13-year-old. He drops the hips, rolls up my leg. I broke my leg.
Oh my God, you're so old.
I know. Literally, my wife that night when I finally make it home at about 11 o'clock is like, "You're too old for this shit." And I'm high as hell. I'm like, "Yep."
You got burnt bones.
Can't do it again.
You burnt bones so much.
I know. Both my hands, my leg, my ankle.
You got hollow burns. You're a little sparrow.
I need vitamin C. But yeah, I broke my fibula, and so I was on I had no weight at all on my foot for 6 weeks. I was on one of those scooters.
This wasn't just a typical break. This was like a needed surgery break, right?
No, we thought we were going to need surgery, and they gave me the option of not having surgery. And I've never had surgery, so I didn't want surgery.
All right, Aaron Rodgers, calm down now.
They just handed out the ayahuasca, and I was good to go.
You went on a darkness retreat and decided no surgery.
I was in the dark.
Because sunlight slows your bone growth, don't you know?
It does. That's ginger. But for 6 weeks, I was on a scooter rolling around. I only missed 3 days of work, but I've been teaching for 6 weeks, rolling around on a scooter.
High as a fucking kite. Molding youths.
No.
Molding future America, just high as it can be.
Actually, I wish I wasn't allowed to be on painkillers while I was at work, so I was on Tylenol.
Ooh.
Hey, by the way, I'm not sure I disagree. Sure, you weren't allowed to be on painkillers at your middle school.
As long as they didn't know.
Oh, as soon as I got home. But yeah, so I did the scooter for 6 weeks. I've been in a boot.
A boot?
For a while, and I am now just in an ankle brace, which I'll be in for months. I hobble around like a broken man. I look like Forrest Gump's less athletic cousin. But yeah, so I did stairs for the second time today.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Baby
I haven't
steps.
been able to do that.
There you go. There you
Baby
go.
steps. I see
Well,
what
welcome
you're doing.
back. Well, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, I missed you
It's
guys.
nice to have you here again.
Yeah, look,
I
we
did be back.
we missed a lot. You know, like I said, we had to reach out to some additional third bunkers. We had to go.
We went-
Shared my bunk.
We did 2 duo episodes. I think it was
Yep.
2. So we, the duo episodes are fine, but it doesn't fit the show
Yeah.
quite as well.
You know, it's in the name, right?
It's the
I shared the name and some details of the podcast with the people I work with, and I just would like you to know that it is consistently at my work called 3 Boys, 1 Bunk Bed.
That's fine.
And it is strictly meant to be very sensual in nature.
As we go.
Remember, this was not the worst name we came up with, right?
Mhm.
Like I texted y'all. I can find it in the chat. I texted y'all 3 guys fantasies. So like we didn't land there. You know, we landed on 3 Man Bunkbed.
Maybe a little disappointing. Maybe a better name.
Definitely still, I know, I'm just saying.
No, shot me down. I did what I could. You
Lots
know,
of
we landed on
3
there.
Lots of 3-man fantasies in my life.
Well, you know, now that you're back, you don't have to fantasize. It's real.
It's 3 boys, 1 ball.
Yeah, exactly.
My
All right, so look,
favorite
glad
favorite
to have
pun
you
of the
back.
week was.
What'd you think of the video, man? What'd you think of the
I was mesmerized.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowingly beautiful. I was not prepared for this level of technology. Like I feel like I've arrived. It's that
Well, look,
country
you know,
concert where the guy stops singing and just lets the crowd do it. It was like that was that moment for me. I was watching that video.
Well, look, what we didn't tell you was Nolan and I mocapped for that. So like that's us in the video. So
That's why they look very unathletic.
I could mocap me like hobbling around in a broken ass boot.
just like, you'd be amazed what mocap takes off the waist. You know,
Yep.
like those guys were thin.
You guys, this is my best Michael Thomas impression.
Oh,
But we're gonna get there. Don't you freaking worry.
don't you worry.
All right. Well, look. Let's get on to a little bit of football. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I guess so.
What's that? Oh, is that what this podcast is about?
Yeah. Sometimes it's about, just a little bit about life.
That was about Christmas tree cakes.
Oof. Oof.
Nolan,
Gross.
Nolan, it's Cole's favorite pastry season. I
Yeah.
remember Cole in college buying
Boxes, cases of them.
Like as soon as he found out Christmas tree cakes were available, he went and bought like every
Here's
one.
the thing.
Every
Here's the thing.
single
All right, look. You know, how, like werewolves see the full moon, and they like freak out and turn into a completely different being. Pumpkin
Sure.
spice season and Christmas tree cake seasons, I turn into the most basic of white bitches that has ever existed.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
with
that's
you.
all right.
My coworkers last year put together a basic white bitch basket for me for my birthday, and it was just strictly like pumpkin spice, face mask, bath bombs.
No,
It's beautiful.
that's awesome. Well, look, I like pumpkin spice season too. Not so much the Christmas tree cakes. They're fine, I guess. They're not like on the Mount Rushmore.
They're somewhere near the
Kick you out of
bottom
bed. I will
on
kick you off
the
the bunk
Little
bed.
Debbie rankings.
The best thing about them is the little crunchy sprinkles. Not the cake, but like the little crunchy sprinkles. That's it.
Those
That's
right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he just
Oh,
pulls
we'll
one
get
out.
one more Christmas tree.
Jesus, he just has them.
Yeah, and then we're gonna move on. Yeah, he's eating them.
I
That's
can't
We're gonna
stand
hold on.
You thought this was a bit. This is
Zach,
not a thing. This is
Zach,
his life.
Zach,
okay?
Greatest moment of high school. Do you remember what I did to Miss Kelly?
Yes, that's what I was gonna bring up. So listen, people, and watch for those of you on YouTube. Cole, the bottom bunk, the guy who's been out for 11 weeks for some good stuff, some bad stuff. I shit you not. We used to take at our school, ACT prep was the most important class you could take, period.
Uh-huh.
'Cause that's all they cared about. So you had it every year, like freshman year, you had ACT prep. So we're in, I mean, this has got to be junior or senior year ACT prep. And Cole gets tired of it. I mean, he just gets worn out on it. So he actually, on the Scantron, draws a Christmas tree on the Scantron and turns that in as a valid test score. And did not score as bad as you think he would score.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you forgot the second part of that. I legitimately,
Yeah.
I had a box of Christmas tree cakes in my backpack and pulled them out and dumped them on the test and said, "I'm done, Miss Kelly. Come get this."
That is both awesome and so disappointing at the same time.
I'm a teacher now. It's karma for the shit that I did in high school.
Let's get on to some football, dadgummit. All right, so look, we are working our way into week 12 in the NFL, which means we're officially 3 weeks, including this week, from most leagues' playoffs. Most leagues' playoffs start in week 15. I say most because most of the leagues that I am in start in week 15.
And that's all that matters.
And that's got to make it the average across the world, right? Clearly. And so with 3 weeks to go, we are in the middle of a playoff push series. Last week we did quarterbacks, and I think maybe we mentioned tight ends.
A little bit.
This week we landed on wide receivers. And next week we're going to give y'all running backs. We chose running backs last because, frankly, we talked about them too much.
Way too much.
Okay. So we thought we'd take a couple of weeks to get past that and give you some breather time, and we'll come back to it. Okay. All right. So before we do that, y'all, it's Thanksgiving week. It's the best Thursday of the NFL season. We get 3 freaking games this Thursday. So shout out for those of you who don't look at your lineups. Don't be those people. There's 6 teams playing on Thursday. Set your lineups accordingly. Okay. So this week we got, or this year, I guess, we got Green Bay and Detroit naturally.
Of course.
We got, which Detroit's going to smash Green Bay, no questions.
I don't know. Packers beat the Chargers again. I know the Chargers have been bad, but...
Now, that's a Chargers thing.
That right there, this type of game where it's like, oh, the Lions got this. They're crushing it.
This is the kind of game the Packers win, man.
You put money on the Packers right now. I don't care what the odds are. You take them.
It's 7.5. I might actually take the Packers.
Hey, fellas, not only am I a believer in Dan Campbell, it's at Detroit. Okay, right. I am pretty confident. Okay.
Cool. That's great. You mean Aaron Rodgers, like third home, fourth home for?
Dude, I cannot. Who's home? Aaron Rodgers. Great. That's because he's not playing, pal.
I know he's not. It's too soon to sit. I love the Lions. Like, I'm so happy for them. Wish Dan Campbell was with the Saints. Love it, but it's too soon to sit here and go, oh, look at this powerhouse. They're untouchable. No, I'm sorry. It's just one of those trap games for me.
I mean, they're 8-2. That's pretty close. Don't they have like the best? Don't they have the best record in the league? Am I remembering this right?
They're tied for or close to with Philly. So
it just feels like one they drop.
This isn't a pick'em episode. We're moving on.
Doesn't have to be.
We got Dallas and Washington. You got anything to say about that one?
Speaking of lines and pick'ems, the line is -11. Take the Commanders.
Holy shit.
Taking them.
You did.
So, hey, I'm back on. I talked about it again last week. I talked about it week 1. That offense is better than you think it is.
Oh God. They're not terrible. Not to mention they're going to fire Riverboat Ron and hire Bill Belichick next year. So
they've got a top 10 QB, running back, and receiver, and almost tight end. They're better than you think they are.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll give that to you. The perception for me when I see Washington is ew, but that might not be fair. They're fine. They're fine.
Don't you dare besmirch the name of Sam Howell. The great god of football.
San Fran, Seattle finishing up the day on that one. So no bye weeks, no teams on bye weeks, and you got 3 games on Thursday, and you got a game on Friday. So make sure you're watching your
first ever Black Friday game.
Yep. And guess who gets it?
Fucking Jets.
Amazon Prime. Jets in Miami.
So
do we all still hate that? Like, are we?
This is obviously to make up for them losing their Thursday game. Like, we get it. Yeah. But why does it have to be the Jets, man? This is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah. It's at New York, but still, does Tim Boyle inspire confidence?
No, he doesn't. He wasn't good ever when he's played. He wasn't good in college.
He's rocking. I don't know if you've seen the photo. I think he's rocking the top knot. Like
is
the
he really? No, I missed that. But
where's
Chelsea also they put Zach Wilson as QB3.
Yeah, he sucks, bro.
He's actually QB3 on the roster.
really
After
bad.
all of the fucking defending of him they did, they made him QB3 on the roster.
Tell me y'all saw, since we're going to talk about wide receivers, tell me you saw the wide receiver stat for the Jets last week.
Mm-mm.
Garrett Wilson having negative points?
Yeah, no, it was like all Jets wide receivers accounted for 9 yards combined.
Mm.
That doesn't sound like a fake stat.
Yeah,
Like, nah,
that doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
There's gotta be somebody available in free agency that can do better than that. Hey, can I say it?
Who?
Give Colin Kaepernick a chance.
Oh my
God. Dude,
bring it back.
At this point, it's not a talent.
He's better than Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah, no, clearly. That was
still
never,
now.
Cam Newton. I'd be blown away if somebody disagreed with that take.
Zach Wilson's probably going to go down as one of the biggest busts of all time. It's up there with him and Johnny Football. Johnny
Manziel's different.
Jamarcus Russell.
Wow, yeah, that one too. Okay.
Ryan Leaf. Anyways, so yeah, look. So let's get on to some wide receiver stuff. Okay, right. Let's do that. So I got injuries. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later, or maybe I'll sprinkle that in as we go in.
I've got some what about these scenarios? Let's start with one of these. So who's the guy on the Rams now that Stafford's back? Cup? Cup is hurt. Puka's hurt.
Hey. Okay, Puka's been hurt every week this year.
So, no. So they came out. He got hurt in the last 8 minutes of the game last week.
Yep.
So he's day-to-day. Cup's day-to-day. He's been on and off injured all year, too. Is this Tutu Atwell's team if Puka's legitimately injured?
Tyler Higbee.
We didn't talk about the most important receiver. Even Ben Skoranek is
Big Skoranek's also on the injury report, yes.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah,
it's got to be Tutu.
Because now that Stafford's back, they've got a quarterback that can make a top 5 receiver. He's done it his whole career. Like, he's good enough to get a wide receiver solid fantasy production. But if his top 2 targets are hurt, like, who are we going with?
I don't think that on a week where they're playing a divisional opponent this close to the back half of the season that both Puka and Kupp sit out. They're both considered day-to-day. So I would imagine one or both plays. But if not, Tutu Atwell, you can do a lot worse than Tutu Atwell on waivers. I mean, what's he owned in Sleeper? This dude's owned in 24% of leagues and started in 5. So you certainly can go get Tutu Atwell. And Nolan, you're not wrong. There's a world in which, like, he's the only wide receiver that starts for the Rams with catches.
I mean, even not necessarily if they're hurt and miss completely. Like, you can be hobbled and they just cut your snap count too, and somebody's got to fill the gap.
Yeah. So the receivers for the Rams who are healthy, like don't carry an injury designation, are Tutu Atwell with 33 catches, DeMarcus Robinson with 3. And then well-known Austin Trammell with 4 catches. So
they sure love their white receivers on that team, don't they?
They really do. Yeah.
Why do they not have Hunter Renfrow yet?
Dude, for real. Hunter Renfrow would eat if he was on that team.
Holy shit.
They're just salivating at the Georgia wide receiver.
And, dude, he's buried on the roster. This cat's not going to play. But it says that they've got a 26-year-old, 5'9" rookie receiver named Xavier Smith.
Hold on, you said 26-year-old?
Yes.
26-year-old rookie? Jesus. Yeah. Florida A&M.
It's that COVID
That
year.
Sounds like a made-up school.
That sounds like a made-up player. Like he got created in Madden.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if those injuries are actually lingering for those two guys, Tutu Atwell could be a super late season league winner, though.
Or at least a playoff push winner.
Yeah.
I think what's actually going to end up happening here is one of Kupp or Puka plays, and that one is going to have 47 fantasy points this week. So give me if one of the two plays, give me that person in DFS all day long. I don't care what they're worth.
So before Cooper Kupp came back the first few weeks, Tutu Atwell, week 1, 19.4, 15.2, week 2, 17.2, week 3. So, like, he scored enough to be startable when Coop was out, though.
But
Not to mention, if only one of the guys starts, they're going to get...
you got to have a second guy somewhere,
they're going to get Witherspoon as their matchup target. And I saw it today. I didn't realize it. He's putting together a better rookie season than Sauce Gardner did, and nobody's talking about it. So... if that dude's absorbing the number 1, then again, I still kind of like Tutu. That's a good look.
I would say he's definitely a go for about 15 points because Puka was going crazy those first few weeks of the year, and he was drawing double teams. Yeah, if he's drawing double teams, that's going to give you Tutu. So absolutely, I love that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I like that scenario. I like that one.
You want another one?
Yeah, let's do that.
You want another one? Is Jamar Chase even playable if Burrow's out?
No fucking way, dude. I mean, look, it's, thank God they have Jake Brown.
They announced that Burrow's done for the year.
What if Jake Browning goes in and is like, you know what? I only know one name here, and that's Jamar Chase. He's got the number 1. I'm just going to keep fucking chunking it his way over and over. Dude, I know. He's always open. 7-Eleven.
He's been on their team. Here's the issue.
7-Eleven.
He's been on their team the years that Burrow was healthy. So this year is the first time he's ever had snaps in a game. No, I don't feel super confident. Now, look, he's got the skill positions to make it happen. If T. Higgins plays, shout out injuries because he's questionable. But I still don't love it.
Browning threw a touchdown last weekend when he came in for Burrow. Who did he throw it to? It was Jamar Chase.
I was about to say, I'm sure it is.
It was Jamar Chase.
But even with the touchdown, he only scored 9 points.
Yeah, but he got the touchdown.
But
I think Browning's going to hit him.
He still got the targets, though. He still got 7 targets. They were just bad throws because he's not a good quarterback. He only had 2 receptions on 7 targets.
Well, I'll say it this way: as a coach, we had an issue last year where the starting quarterback goes down at 3rd game of the year, halfway through the game, and I've got to send in the backup. Holy crap! Not a great look for him. Because the kid wasn't prepared to go into that game.
Yeah.
So I had a situation this year where my starting quarterback gets sick before scrimmage, had to send the backup. Holy crap. Same situation here with Browning. The only outlier for this thing where the guy gets thrown in the middle of a game he was not prepared to go into.
Say it.
Can I say it?
Say it.
The Pastronaut.
The Pastronaut, Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs is the only man who can do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a good quarterback, you can come to that situation and still come out ahead.
Taking snaps on the sideline just so the team can hear.
Learning the snap count on the sideline.
Here's my issue. I'm not convinced he's a good quarterback. Okay,
you shut your mouth.
No, not Dobbs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Whoa.
I
said that last week. We're back onto our scenario about Jamar Chase. No, I'm not playing him because I'm not convinced Browning is a good quarterback, and he's playing the Steelers, who currently lead the league in turnovers and have a top 10 passing defense. And they just fired Matt Canada, so all is white with the world.
They're going to be rolling.
I don't think Jake Browning has a good game, which means I don't think Jamar Chase has a good game. He might be the only playable player.
He's barely going to be playable, though.
Playable. Yeah. That's good enough for me. Good enough for me.
He's a borderline flex at best.
I think he gets 15 points.
I think he's going to average 10 the rest of the year.
I think he gets 15 this week. Fantasy side bet?
Fantasy side bet, put it on the board?
Yes.
Zach, put it on the board.
Yes. So, Cole,
you're over 15. I'm under 15?
Yeah, me too.
Put it on the board.
I'm under.
You're like 14 and a half, 15 and a half?
14 and a half.
14 and a half.
I would just say 15 even.
Flat, yeah.
Well, then no one wins if he scores 15 points.
He won't score 15 even. He'll have a decimal.
Yeah, I've bet too much for that to believe that.
Wow.
He
adding
will
on to
score.
that,
Bank it. He's scoring 15.00 points this week. Take it to the bank.
And then we fight for it, and I kick you in your broken leg.
I'll
Yeah.
hit you with a box of Christmas tree cakes.
it's just a slightly broken leg now, okay? And then I'll follow that one up with the Lions are going to win, in case y'all want to
That's fine. Cool.
take a Lions money line.
No, we're here for that. So we brought him up. Josh Dobbs we've seen his love of tight ends this year, though. How high on your rankings would JJ be once he comes back? They said it's probably going to be after the bye week, so he's got a couple more weeks. But are we still considering him wide receiver 1 with Josh Dobbs?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, because you just put it close to him, and he's a magnet for the football.
And Josh Dobbs, when you've got Kirk Cousins in there, man, what did Madison look like early on in the season? There's no run game for Minnesota. Dobbs opens that up. Like, your linebackers have to play shallow whenever
because he can
scrambles.
run the ball himself. He doesn't need the running back because he can do it.
You get those linebackers having to take one step up. Golly, Justin Jefferson's going to have a field day with those open zones right behind it, which is going to open up things over the top because they're going to have to sit. I absolutely think that this is great for JJ. Yeah, I see him as wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we've even seen that he can carry a wide receiver 1. I mean, hell, Devontae Adams had a 40-point game week 3 with Josh Dobbs throwing to him.
Yep.
No, I'm looking at the wrong team. I'm a fucking idiot. Just ignore me.
It's cool. But no, I mean, to your point, like the inverse of Jake Browning is that I don't know anything and don't trust him. Is with Josh Dobbs, he's earned it for me. Like, the dude's a flat-out player. Now, he's going to vulture your rushing touchdowns. That's fine. But if Justin Jefferson's playing, I trust Josh Dobbs. I'd play Justin Jefferson all day.
I had the biggest brain fart in the world. I don't know why I was looking at Devontae Adams because I was on the wrong tab.
You're still just blown away by being too close to the sun that is coal on the
Yeah, I know. He's throwing me off, man. I'm not used to this. Hollywood Brown averaged like 17 points through week 6. So
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And that's with Dobbs coming in. What did he get signed? He got signed 2 weeks before the season?
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys,
we are officially at that point of his career with the Vikings.
And we're not talking about the quarterbacks this week, but we do live in a world where the Browns had Josh Dobbs to start the season.
And the Titans had him last year.
Yeah.
He's been on a lot of teams, man.
Yeah. Would you rather Will Levis or Josh Dobbs right now?
Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs, it's not close.
Although I'll tell you, and I hate him. We talked about it last week. I hate Will Levis. Okay. But the way he throws that deep ball to DeAndre Hopkins, if he can just get better at all the intermediate and short shit, like, he'll probably be pretty fine as a quarterback. He throws an incredibly nice deep ball.
I'll say this, there is not a worse situation in the NFL right now than trying to be the Titans quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll stand on that one. Because who's he going to throw the ball to? D-Hop's double covered all day long, and he's not prime D-Hop anymore.
He's not.
Nick Westbrook-Akina.
Yep. Traylon Burks has been hurt all fucking year.
Chiga Okonkwo.
Shortest tight end in the league that actually gets time.
You know what?
Get Mike Vrabel a helmet.
I'll disagree. At least they have DeAndre Hopkins. The worst quarterbacking job in the NFL is the New York Giants.
Fair.
Tough one, right?
Tommy DeVito may be the man, though.
That's at least worth competing. At least he has DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Yeah. Poor Josh and your sucky New York Giants franchise.
It's really got to suck to be a Giants fan.
Yeah, at least he's not a Chargers fan.
All right. So, yeah, look, as far as Justin Jefferson is concerned, Nolan, for your scenario, he is day-to-day. He's been that way for a week. Kevin O'Connell, the coach, is still not committing to him.
There was a thing that came out today that said he's probably coming back after bye week. He's probably not playing until bye. So, week, 14? They have a late bye.
I think he plays this week. Hear me out. I don't think he wanted to come back until after the bye because He saw the quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
It was trash. Things were horrible. He wasn't excited about it. And here comes Josh Dobbs, and he looks like a stud. And I think Jefferson is chomping at the bit to get in there because he knows what Josh Dobbs' running ability and his control of that offense is going to do for his ability as a receiver. And I think he's sitting there now going, all right, let's do this. If I'm good to go, I'm going to go. So I think if it's close, he plays. I don't see him waiting.
Playoff race. I mean,
yeah. He did say today he's tired of people DMing him about their fantasy leagues and him not playing.
I'm sure he is, man. I would mute everybody if I was.
Gosh. Get off of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, JJ, day-to-day. Let's see. T. Higgins, going back to your previous scenario, he is questionable with a hamstring injury. So, not that I'm playing him, even if he does suit up, but you're going to have to watch it because he's still not logging full practices. If for some reason you have to play T. Higgins, he's out. Poor OBJ, guys. Poor OBJ.
Is he hurt?
Comes in, has his first 100-yard game as a Raven, gets hurt. It's not serious. It's a shoulder injury. There's a chance he could play this week, but that sucks, dude. Like, this has got to be one of the most talented receivers on earth that can't get healthy and stay healthy. I mean, it's nuts. I thought, I'm watching him catch all those balls and get to 100 yards last week with Lamar going, oh, shit, dude. If Lamar has Odell Beckham healthy and playing, they're dangerous. And, of course, he's not healthy. Don't worry. He got hurt.
I don't want to say this.
But go ahead and say it.
But it's a hot take. It's really hot. Prime OBJ. Okay, we're all thinking. You think OBJ, you think of the catch. Like, it was great. It was amazing. That was awesome. What do you compare Prime OBJ to today? Like, who does he compare to now? Because he's not one of the greatest to ever play the game. I'm sorry.
He's not.
I think he's one of the greatest talented ones. He just hadn't been healthy.
Before the injuries, he didn't. He was hitting 1,000 yards.
His first 3 years, he was number 7, number 5, number 4.
Yeah,
that's 3 years.
Yeah, and then he got hurt. And then he got hurt, and he never got healthy.
But
again.
who do you compare?
He never played a full season after that.
Who do you compare him to today, though? Is this a? Who's putting up numbers like that?
Yeah, who's doing 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns? Who is doing that?
Hold on. Jalen Waddle, first 2 years, goes
Waddle's
crazy. This year, he's been hurt half the year.
But, I'm not going to put him in his prime on the same level as Justin Jefferson the last few years, Tyreek Hill this year. He's not Marvin
his first 3 years of his career, I would, yeah.
Marvin Harrison in his prime years, nope.
Dude, he was unstoppable at his youngest point. He was unstoppable.
I don't know. I don't want to
player.
He's a Hall of Famer. I'll give you a Hall of Fame. Absolutely, but it's 3 years. I'm not ready to sit here and cement him as just.
Well, that's what we're saying. For his first 3 years when he was healthy, he was the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the league.
He did not say,
and then he can't stay healthy.
He's not Hall of Fame material.
Somebody's echoing.
Is 3 years of that type of quality? Is 3 years of that type of quality enough for you to sit here and still say he's one of the best of all time?
No, we're not saying he's one of the best of all time.
No, I said he's one of the best, like one of the most talented.
Okay.
We won't know. We won't know what he ended up doing,
Freaking Derrick Rose.
Yeah, well,
That's a good comparison,
exactly.
Honestly. That's a great comparison.
Exactly. That's a fantastic comparison.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Shout out.
It's sad.
Nolan, shout out.
Shout out.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Giants, Darius Slayton has what amounts to his only good fantasy game this year. Also gets hurt. Okay. Also gets hurt. So I'll ask twofold question. do we think what Darius Slayton did, if he's healthy, is repeatable? And I guess it's a 1B. Can DeVito, Tommy DeVito, can the Italian guy do it again?
Hey, man, he lives with his mom.
That's awesome.
I can't. That still throws me off every time I hear it. I mean, he only threw 26 passes. We'll see. It could be fucking what we were talking about a minute ago. Josh Dobbs come in, first time playing, get on the field, and produce. So he may be something, but he's going to be better than a lot of the other quarterbacks that are coming. He's better than Jake Browning. I'm fucking positive of that.
Are the Giants cursed?
It may be, dude.
Like, wild stuff happens to Giants players. Jason Pierre-Paul blows his hands off in a fireworks accident.
Yeah.
Plaxico Burress
shoots himself.
Cheddar mobs himself. Like, wild stuff happens to anybody who plays for the Giants. I don't know that I ever.
Is it the post Manning curse? Because look at what happened to the Broncos after Peyton retired.
Can't be post Manning because they had Plaxico Burress while he was there.
Oh well.
Certainly during the Manning.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything substantial since he left, though. Same with the Broncos.
Speaking of Plaxico,
Tiki Barber.
Shout out.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned it. So the guy who drove Plaxico to
Tiki
the
Barber?
hospital,
It was my favorite player growing up.
he's pretty good.
I've got his card sitting right next to me.
Speaking of shout outs on that, have we talked about the new interim head coach for the Raiders? It's the same guy who drove Plaxico to the hospital.
To the hospital, yeah. He was the guy that hid his gun after it happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was with him. He hid his gun after it went off.
Antonio
That's
Pierce,
who their coach is now.
leader
It's
of men.
crazy.
What happened to you?
Oh my
I got shot. By who? Me. Where's the gun? Don't know.
Don't know.
Tell you.
Not.
It's gone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry what happened to it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that might be the best story to come out this year. That's
amazing.
oh
It's the Raiders. Like
right. It's the most Raiders thing
Raiders,
possible,
yes.
man.
Like you can't make that shit up.
Yeah.
You know. Speaking of more injuries, I hate that I even have to say it because it really doesn't matter. Garrett Wilson's hurt. I don't think it matters for the Jets.
They're not doing anything.
Yeah, but he's hurt. He hurt his elbow. It's okay. He had 9 yards. Who cares? You know.
I'm so glad I couldn't pull off a trade for him before the season started.
I mean, I've got him, and he's just like
I know you do. I'm so glad I couldn't pull that off.
Last week. Now I ended up winning.
I also tried to trade for him in most leagues.
I started Garrett Wilson this past week in favor of Calvin Ridley, and
Yikes.
boy, that looked dumb last week. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt bad.
Yikes.
That hurt bad.
So
all right,
I know
last
he's
here for me, and then we'll move on. DK and Lockett are carrying questionable designations.
Lockett's playing. You stop it right now. That man is okay.
You know what I'm gonna say.
So if you've got him, JSN might finally have that like, oh my god game. But I know what Nolan's gonna say. If you've got him, you got to play Jake Bobo.
It's Jake Bobo. Come on now.
Cole,
He's already got a 16-point week this year.
For Bobo.
Cole, while you were gone, Jake Bobo got famous.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know, right?
Yeah, he got famous.
Oh, fantastic name. Also, he had a 16-point week and a 10-point week already once this season. I mean, if they're both out,
I'm just saying.
I don't know if Jason's it.
If we're getting excited about a 10-point week, we should probably find something else to get excited about.
Just saying.
Nolan.
I know. I do like him. Like the catches he makes to get these 16, 10 points. The catch he made the week he got 16 in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! I like the guy, and I feel
He's
like
one
they're
of those-
trying to feed him because he's catching screen passes. You don't design and call a screen pass for him unless you actually think the man's
If you
got
believe he's
talent.
going to do something, yep.
So I would not be surprised. Somebody might want to take this bet, a side bet for the league, to see Bobo have more fantasy points than JSN this week.
I was actually going to have a more controversial one than that. If there's an if disclaimer.
Don't do it.
If the other two guys don't play, I think Bobo has more points than Jamar this week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Now that's if DK and Lockett don't play. I bet.
So
Bobo.
what are their actual injuries? I haven't looked at it that closely.
All right, here we go.
Metcalf was hurt in practice.
Love that, don't you?
So there's no news from what I'm looking at. Lockett is logs a full practice on Tuesday. Lockett's fine. He's going to play. They'll probably both play. Let's be honest. Because if it was a serious injury from DK, it'd probably already have come out what it was.
Well, and
then
now-
Lockett logged a full practice.
Now the league's going to be really careful about those injury designations after Burrow. So,
Yeah.
Oh, after the Portnoy class action lawsuit.
Oh, dude, that's nuts.
Have you
But that
seen
is-
this?
What?
There was so much money laid on the Bengals. I mean,
Well-
I put money on the Bengals.
Portnoy had 100K on the Bengals
Ooh.
to win this game. And Burrow, apparently there's a video out from
Of him with like
earlier
the
in the
wrist
week
brace on.
of him with a wrist brace on. He was never on the injury report. And so Portnoy has filed a class action lawsuit against the NFL
There you go.
to refund all the bets that involved the Bengals game this week.
Well, that'd be nice. I'd like my money back. I lost money because I
It's-
had money on the Bills.
It's
Or
not going to
Bengals.
happen, but
Hey, man,
yeah,
it
that'd be nice.
could. All right, I've got one. Is the Eagles' offense going to mirror what happened last year, where A.J. Brown fell off a cliff and Devontae Smith started carrying the team?
AJ Brown does this, okay? It's part of just the curse of owning him in fantasy. The man, this is just what he does. When he was with the Titans, dude would go drop 20, 30. I remember him having a near 50-point fantasy game. And then 7 points and 6 points and injured. And that was a great year. He does this. Anybody who owns him in Dynasty knows that he does this. And
He scored.
yes,
2
so
points
go
last
get
week.
Devontae Smith. I'll take it.
Also, Devontae ended the year last year going in reverse order from 18, 17, 16. 13, 21, 32, 19, 18, 22.
Not to
Like-
mention, there is a direct correlation already with this year. The 2 bad games A.J. Brown has had, Devontae Smith was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I hope so. I've got Devontae Smith in a couple of important leagues. Okay, fucking let's go.
Yeah, so I could see that being a repeat of what happened last year. So maybe fire up your Devontae Smiths and, think about subbing out that AJ Brown.
Not to mention, and look, I know a lot
That's a
of
take that's going to bite me in the ass, I'm sure.
You've hurt my feelings tonight. Our Dynasty League, I have 3 wide receivers that I have spent a lot of capital on. I have Jamar Chase, I have A.J. Brown, I have Jalen Waddle, and I have, who's the other one? Justin Jefferson. So, yay, go JJ.
that would probably explain why you are 6-5 with all of that capital, my boy.
Crazy.
Well, okay.
Well, JJ hasn't played.
Yeah, JJ's been unhealthy. Jamar he missed some time early. I haven't had my whole team together since like week.
And now Jamar lost his quarterback, so we'll see what happens
Oh,
with that.
nobody-
God, could you imagine with all those assets and you miss the playoffs?
Oh my!
Not to mention-
Look at my team and tell me why the hell is the team not winning everything?
Weak excuse, okay? Let me tell you, nobody in fantasy has had their whole team this year. Nobody.
That's a good point. This has been a crazy year for injuries.
Man,
Like
it has.
star player injury. We did it last week. We went over all the quarterbacks that have gotten hurt. And it's just fucking insane how many QB1s have been hurt this year.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what is going well. Shout out Scott Fish Bowl, that gigantic fantasy charity tournament. Playoff cutoff was this past week. So this is the first week of their playoffs. Your boy made it.
What's up?
Hey, there you go.
Currently ranked 395 out of the original 3,000.
Oh, let's
There you go.
Yeah. So it's going well now, and 7 people from my division made it.
Damn.
That'll
Super
do, pig.
competitive division. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. So those are super weird. We'll talk about that more in like an off-season episode. How weird this tournament has been, and I'm sure will continue to be.
It's because the
But,
scoring is fucking
It's a
bananas.
disaster. But in that league, the reason I'm doing well is I took C.J. Stroud, I took Tank Dell, I took Sam Laporta. So I've got Singletary. Like, it kind of really fell into place in a lot of ways for those guys.
Yeah.
So
I've got one more before we call it quits. What the hell's been going on with Stephon Diggs? He's had a couple bad weeks back to back, man.
And I've tried to trade for him so much.
It might come out being in your favor. Like,
I don't know, dude. I got to trust that those two guys will sort themselves out, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
After the Josh Allen quote from this week, I think Diggs has a massive week. He's going 20-plus this week.
what was the quote? Let's hear it.
I'm fucking back.
Oh, my God.
They got rid of that coordinator. So, look, Stephon Diggs is sitting on the sideline. And, look, the stats say that the coordinator wasn't that bad. Like, their offense rankings weren't that bad. The problem was that offensive coordinator apparently, scheme-wise, did not like Stephon Diggs. And so they get rid of him. And like
That's
you said,
stupid.
Stephon Diggs was like, I'm back, dude.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that forced Josh Allen to throw some of those silly interceptions.
God, I hope so.
He's thrown some wild ones.
He's playing
man.
very Jameis-like this
Yeah.
year.
How many interceptions does he
He's
have?
I believe I heard he's leading the league in touchdowns and interceptions.
Oh, that's so bad.
22 TDs, 12 interceptions.
It's no 30-30, but
Yeah. I mean, it's over
it's not
50%.
30-30.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not 500 on interceptions versus touchdowns.
Jameis had that 30 touchdown, 30 pick season.
And,
That will never be matched.
and they've not picked up our idea on the 30 for 30 series for this yet, but it's perfect. We got to do one.
Oh,
I mean, dear
Jameis.
Lord,
Is he starting this week, or is Carr going to be back?
I hope Carr's back. And if Carr's not back, they got to start Taysom.
Oh, come on.
Dude, just as quickly as Jameis got the Saints back into the game, he lost it. He threw 2 touchdowns and followed up with, get this, 2 interceptions.
Okay, look. Jameis, hot take. Just
Fucking
kidding.
Thanos.
It's not. It's not hot at all. Everyone's going to agree with this one. Jameis Winston, love you, bud, is the dumbest quarterback in the NFL. He's so dumb. I love him. He steals crab legs. Really dumb person.
Well, he's Thanos. Everything is perfectly balanced. As of yesterday, Derek Carr is still in concussion protocol.
Yep, it's got to be Taysom.
I loved the report, the alert I got of Derek Carr has left the game with concussion and another injury.
Oh.
He hurt 2 things at once, and they're like,
Jeez.
what do I do? And more.
Speaking of quarterbacks getting hurt, did y'all watch the Florida quarterback truck 2 defenders, go back in for another play, and the shock wore off, and he had apparently broken his collarbone?
Oh, nice.
He was just so pumped with adrenaline, he played a whole nother down with a broken collarbone.
Hey, Zach, do you think you could play a couple downs with a broken collarbone?
I did literally play a couple of downs in rugby with a broken collarbone before I realized it was snapped.
Yep.
Like this.
Uh-huh.
Now, but it was adrenaline. It was like I heard like a clear, and then you could I knew something was wrong, but you just keep playing.
You just keep going.
What was the worst injury of the weekend? The
Jordan Travis.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Jordan
hold on.
Travis.
Or who's the DB for the Jets who broke his hand and the bone was sticking through the glove?
Oh yeah, God.
Still, hey bro, a pinky bone and a whole ass leg facing the wrong way.
The bone was sticking through, not through the hand. Fuck the hand. The glove.
Bro, if Jordan Travis wasn't double walled on his socks, his fucking foot might have been sticking out the wrong
I
way.
don't have any sympathy for Jordan Travis. I got broken on a hip drop tackle too.
Oh my God.
I know. He just broke both bones. I only broke one. It sucks. Whatever. Walk it off.
This is the thing about hip drop tackles. When in rugby, that's just how I tackled.
Yeah, it's normal.
And
That's why you have
it's just a thing.
11 concussions.
That's different. That's because I was an idiot.
Hip fucking concussions.
That's why
That's
you have
why That's why I learned to hip drop tackle.
I bet
It's
it is.
This comes.
I didn't know that was there wasn't a name for it back then.
No, there wasn't.
It was called "This Big Bastard Won't Go Down."
This is you just let them take your shoulder and you just drop and you just body weight on their legs. It's
yeah. Well, look, and the reality is, we're going to go back to this. It's the same thing Tua struggled with last year. People got to learn how to fall better. Okay?
Yeah, man.
Oh God, just fall less.
Learn how to get tackled.
Okay?
Hey, y'all can eat shit, all right?
Cole, aren't you just saying that you didn't feel bad at all because that happened to you too? So we're not going to feel bad for you.
No
okay?
sympathy for you,
No
bud.
sympathy.
One last shout out.
This is my last episode for a while, boy.
You're gone again. Back in the dungeon.
Got it. Yeah. No. Shout out to Kareem Jackson for finding a way to get suspended without pay in the NFL. Like, this dude's like headhunting, literally headhunting out here. So have y'all seen this video?
It's just so fucking blatant. Yeah.
I mean,
he's just torpedoing somebody with his helmet. It's so fucking old school. They outlawed this years ago, and he's still doing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I've read something this week. I was trying to see if I could find it. There was a player for, I think, the Dolphins.
You can read?
I know. It's really weird. I think for the Dolphins, and I do not fully trust me on this one because
we never do.
It was late at night. But that he went on injured reserve for something and never officially came off. And so this 56-year-old player...
Oh, yeah. They went through and did a bunch of those. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Did he get cut or did he officially retired?
Golly.
No. I think they cut him and he went through waivers. Like,
that's fucking insane. I would have loved somebody to pick him up just for the fucking lols of it.
Could you imagine the scouting department? They get that waiver printout and they're like, the age can't be right.
23, 56.
There's a fucking typo here.
Anyways, all right, boys. Look, we have failed on our mission of keeping short episodes.
We always do.
Okay.
That's fine. We should just embrace it at some point.
Didn't you miss me?
This thing up. Cole, it was awesome to have you back. We're gonna pray that you're here on next week's show. So
I'm gonna do my best.
Football players, stay away from like having additional babies at this point.
Anybody know how to prevent that?
Somebody's gonna come out of the woodworks. Oh, child.
Damn it, it's not again.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Look, we appreciate you. Make sure you're looking at your wide receivers. Check who's injured. Check who's playing. Start planning for your playoffs now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see you next week where we're going to talk about running backs.
Oh,
we're going to
God.
talk about running backs.
Say it softer.
Yeah. So, hey, check us out on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube.
What happens in the bunk bed stays in the bunk bed.
Right.
That's right. You heard it here.
Check us out on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. It's been awesome, y'all. We will see you next week. Peace.
See ya.
All of